Welcome to today's show, Daniel Kim. He's the founder of a new company called Orbi. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me here, Brian.
I am so glad to have you on the show because when I heard what your company does and the research that I've been working on this year, especially with Conquest email marketing and helping dealers determine what's quality traffic to their websites. Well, when we had a call from our mutual friend saying, you gotta have Daniel on the show, I'm like, tell me more. So for people who haven't heard of Orbi before, how would you describe the company's mission to help dealers?
So pretty much at Orbi, we want to help you sell more cars, right? Like a lot of the vendors that come on the show. But our kind of approach is unique because what we care about is what actually happens on your online showroom. Which is, I think, the most important showroom these days. There's a lot of fog and haze and kind of misunderstanding of what's actually going on your dealership's website, and we try to help out with clarifying that.
And to be more specific, as we were talking about before today's show, we know that dealers are spending billions of dollars on advertising, whether it's manufacturers, tier 2 or tier 3. Traffic's coming to their website, but many dealers really don't know if it's working. How does Orbi help dealers know if their ad spending is effective?
So we actually go and look at all the leads and the unique visitors that you get from your website, and we judiciously take a look at if they're actual human beings or not. We go through a complete list of malicious and helpful bots and take out all those bots as unique visitors. And we run a series of algorithms that figure out if you are actually a human being surfing on the site or not.
Well, this has to be music to the ears of many people in the industry who've been frustrated. Every year they're spending more and more. They're not seeing their leads go up, or more importantly, they're spending on a lot of different strategies, and I'm not really sure which model they should use for attribution. So let's start from the beginning. Most dealers have Google Analytics installed.
That's right. Most
dealers are getting reports about website traffic, but to be truthful, many of those reports are coming from the companies who are selling them advertising. Daniel, isn't that a conflict?
Yes, it is a conflict, and I think there can be more done to really figure out if the traffic you're getting is in fact real traffic. And funny thing, good thing that you mentioned about Google Analytics. Google Analytics only gets you kind of shallow, scratching the surface type of analytics. What we do is we go in a little bit deeper and figure out what's actually happening.
And what I liked about your approach is you're really just putting in one line of code on the dealer's website, and you're already working with CDK websites and Dealer.com and others. And that turns on your sophisticated analytics and algorithms to start looking at this visitor traffic. So tell me, you mentioned this dealer out in California. We won't mention their name. But they are one of your clients that have really had an eye-opening experience. Tell our viewers today a little about what type of traffic they were getting, and what did you find once you installed the Orbi technology on their website?
So they're a dealership, like you said, out in California. They were getting about 6,000 unique visitors, or that's what they were being told. After we installed our software on their website, we were actually able to find out that actually 4,000 of the 6,000 unique visitors were bots and not human beings.
Wow. So this is, for those of you watching today's show, listen to what Daniel just said. His software was able to determine what was real traffic. Do you have any doubts about the traffic counts that are coming to your site? Well, Daniel, so you nailed this down to 2,000 real people, and let's go into that a little bit deeper. How many leads was this dealership getting? How much were they spending to generate this 6,000 unique visitors each month?
So they were spending $16,000 a month on digital advertising.
Okay.
And instead of the 6,000, they were actually getting 2,000 unique visitors. And we were also able to figure out of the 2,000, they were getting about 80 leads, conversions, so that the BDC could take care of the leads.
Okay.
But the very interesting thing that we found, and I think this is what we're very good at doing, is not only do we track what pages you visit, but we actually go deeper and look at the actual interaction. So we were actually able to see that 60 of the 80 leads were from organic Google search, and direct, meaning typing in the dealership's URL. Wow. So essentially they were paying $16,000 for 20 leads.
And we know that there's some multiple overlaps and attribution. They could have first clicked, obviously, on an AdWords ad and then came back organically. This is very common. But I want to go to a very, very hot topic on my mind this year. As I'm on the speaking circuit, talking with dealers, what was really refreshing is that I found like we're brothers separated at birth, because you were telling me, Brian, Google Analytics and today's reports at dealers are not showing engagement click actions. Now, we know on a vehicle detail page, there's many calls to action. They could play a video. They could scroll through photos. They could click on native buttons like Getty Price, but they also could click on a Carfax, a Black Book. There's probably 10 or 12 engagement points. And yet, the average dealer does not have any reports from their advertising vendors on how many engagements were generated. They're just getting cost per click, cost per visit, cost per lead. Daniel, what are you looking at? What is the Orbi software able to do to help dealers know if their ad dollars are bringing engaged shoppers?
We are able to tell you with our platform, not only how many visitors, how many real visitors came to your website based on which advertising campaign you ran, but we're actually able to tell you if that advertising campaign was effective in a sense that, did they convert? Did they click on an e-lead form? Did they click on click to chat? Did they click to call? And on top of that, we're able to break down, let's say you ran a Google display ad campaign and we were able to attribute 20 conversions to that. We can further go and say out of those 20 conversions, 12 of them came from chat. So it's not a guessing game anymore of throwing 8, 10 call to action buttons.
I love it, because one of the problems today is that there's so many third-party plugins on a dealer's VDP, chat being one of them, but now companies like Edmunds has a free texting solution. And if you don't have a sophisticated analytics approach, you could be missing those conversion. You mentioned click to call. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I'm on a mobile phone and I'm ready to take action, if I could call instead of completing a form, I'll call. So let's take this one step further. You're giving dealers the ability not just to see which traffic is real. You're being able to say which traffic or campaigns had the most engagement on your products, on your VDPs. But you also talked about your photograph product, your ability to transform the dealer's images that are displayed. So, Daniel, help us understand the limitations of today's photo widget on most VDPs, and how you've decided to give dealers more transparency and data insights from what consumers do with the photos.
So answering on the first part of the question is, most of the time on your dealership website, your image gallery is restricted to 640 by 480 resolution, 50 kilobyte, very small pictures. Customers are buying a very expensive item. They should do a better job than having these small pictures. So what we did was we developed an end-to-end solution where we developed an app to help you take the pictures. We store all the pictures in our servers, and we install a player on your dealership website. You don't have to change your website provider. And unlocks this potential of having 4K resolution images. You can zoom in, get really good details about the car. And on top of that, not only are you able to get good details about the car, but because we track, I think we're almost an industry first, we know what every picture is on that website because our app tags all those pictures.
Wow, okay, I'm seeing where you're going with this. So dealers can not only have the best looking photos, and maybe a Highline dealer is even more important for that, but you'll be able to start to see which advertising campaigns had the most engagement, and then would you be able to start profiling individuals and saying, wow, this person seems to like interior photos and they seem to be spending more time on these type of photos, meaning will you be able to start letting the photos give you feedback to profile what that consumer is interested in?
That's exactly right. And based on, it's not just looking at the pictures, but because they can engage with it, we're able to tell, you know, if somebody looked at a navigation picture longer, they zoomed in on it, and then they looked at iPod integration, they spent a lot of time on the dash, we say, hey, this is a guy or girl that wants to buy a car with technology. Then we can start profiling these customers and target to them with dynamic content to better increase conversion rate on your dealership website.
And we've talked about personalization in this industry for a few years. I've not seen any competent study that has shown, well, with personalization turned on, we have, you know, significantly increased conversion. What I like about your platform approach is that we're separating, as the Bible called it, the wheat from the chaff. Okay, this is the wheat now, and now these are the good shoppers, and let's track everything they do on the website and use that rich data to start profiling, and then your platform can feed an advertising platform to create better ad campaigns or better content.
Exactly. And it's, you know, it's nothing new what we do in other industries. You know, website analytics and optimization is a $3 billion market, and you know, all the biggest retailers, Amazon, Apple, Walmart, they all use this. What we're trying to create is a customized tool for the dealership so that, like you said, you just put in that code, we take care of the rest, and you know, try to give you results so that you can sell more cars at the end of the day.
Well, I think this is music to the ears of today's viewers because universally, when I speak, dealers are saying, Brian, I don't know what's working, what's not. I'm spending more and more money. You know, it seems every week there's someone trying to sell me another product to drive more traffic. But I like the fact that this can work in conjunction with Google Analytics, meaning it's not replacing Google Analytics, it's just an overlay. Number two, you are really identifying true potential shoppers, so conversion rates aren't skewed. And now we're really starting to get into this, what I want to call cost per engagement model. If I'm spending $1,000 on Facebook, how many high quality engagements am I getting? If I'm spending $1,000 on Google AdWords, how many high quality engagements? And I'm going to use engagements that have, you know, they went through a photo carousel, they played a video, they researched the specs, they started a payment calculator. These are important things where we know with Google Analytics, someone could be on a VDP for 3 seconds, they could be a VDP for 3 minutes. If they leave, Google says it was a bounce rate.
That's right. And that's where our platform really shines, is because it's not just looking at where you visited, but really tracking everything that's going on your website. Every click, every scroll, every engagement, every type that you fill in to fill in the lead form, and we look at it and say, you know, is this customer looking to buy a car or not? And you link that to where did this person come from, right? Which is the most powerful thing, because you're spending so much money, as you know, our industry is the second largest spender in digital advertising.
I know, and it drives me crazy that many dealers don't know that they're in the e-commerce business, but they are. They need to be better stewards of their money in digital. But honestly, Daniel, they haven't had the tools to make it easy for them to inspect their vendor partners.
and that's where we want to come in and really help out the dealerships with that aspect.
So we were talking a little bit about this bot traffic, and
Right.
we were chuckling a little bit. Just give an example. How does your software know if a visitor, aside from possibly being from an IP address that is a known source of bot traffic, what is your software doing to look at click patterns to spot some stinkers?
Right. I mean, it's really simple things. It's not rocket science, but things like if you looked at 50 pages in 2 seconds. I mean, I don't know if you can do that, Brian.
No, even the Oracle of marketing cannot do that. I'm not that good of a reader.
Right.
But you find that there's some click traffic that does that.
Right, exactly. Or if they go to some random pages, or if they visit, if you look at 100, 200 pages in one session, I mean, you might have a fan on your hand, but most likely it's going to be a bot.
That's right.
And one thing about bots, it's not just our industry. 50% of the entire website traffic is bots, and it hits dealerships harder because smaller websites with less than 10,000 visits per month, they can have up to 80, 90% of their traffic from bots.
And in our research report on Conquest email marketing, we documented really strange traffic, meaning a dealer paid for a Conquest email company, 5,500 people come to the website, 100% from desktop devices, 98% from a Windows operating system, and the highest source of clicks to the privacy page and the sitemap. I don't know about you, Daniel, when was the last time you went shopping for a car and you said, one of the first things I'm going to do is click on their privacy page? Meaning, one person, 2 people, but not 500 people in a 3-day period, right?
Right.
So, Daniel, for dealers who are watching today's show, I am sure many of them are saying, Daniel, I want to know what my true numbers are. If they want to work with your company, is it a long-term commitment? Is it a month-to-month? Is there setup fees? What do dealers have to plan for when they engage with Orbi?
So no setup fee, month to month. We want to make sure that you're happy. We want to make sure that we're actually adding value for your dealership. So, just give us a call or send us an email, and we'll set you right up. Great.
And what website do they need to go to get the information?
The website is orbi.co, not com, but orbee.co.
Great. Now, Daniel, one last thing, and it's really just fate and a twist of fate that we got together because a common friend said, Brian, you need to have Daniel on the show. I just want to leave viewers with one clear message. The average dealer that I deal with is spending anywhere from $40,000 to $80,000 a month on online marketing, $500,000 to $1 million a year. And yet, very few dealers have invested in the tools to inspect the quality of traffic to their website. Ladies and gentlemen watching today's show, whether you pick Orbi as your data analytics research tool, your Switzerland of data and marketing analytics, or you pick another company, it's time for you to get serious about optimizing your marketing dollars. And Daniel, I am so excited that you're coming into the automotive industry and giving dealers an independent view of their traffic, an independent way to inspect, and more importantly, I believe we have to stop focusing on cost per click and cost per lead and click-through rate and really focus on quality traffic and cost per engagement. And dealers who do that with tools like Orbi, I think, can revolutionize their marketing budget. So would you make a promise to me?
Yes.
I'd like to have you back in a year. I want to hear more success stories. Maybe we can get a couple dealers on the show who will disclose, say, yeah, I was making some stupid, decisions, but Daniel's team came in, showed me. I'd love to share that because we need to know what's working and what's not working, and I think Orbi will be part of that solution.
Yeah, we'll definitely be back on your show.
Great. Daniel, thanks so much.
Thanks so much for having me on the show, Brian.
My pleasure.